Pelicans have the best record in the league, 16-8. Cheddar Chaz going to join me right now. They have the best record. Just before we get in the show, it's December 7th, 2022, and the New Orleans Pelicans have the best record in the Western Conference. We're about to get into the show.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth out.
Presented by DraftKings. Use code BOOT. Bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game. They win $200 in free bets. There we go. I'm just that excited. Also presented by Company Burger, 4600 Freret Street, and Birdsall Law Firm. Before we get into the show, like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on Zion Williamson's double-double, or who we're about to start the show off with, Najee Marshall, join with Chaz. Chaz, before I pitch it to you, I wanted to make sure to give Najee his flowers because he set the tone early on in the first quarter today. Or it was either the first or second quarter. The Pistons kept wrapping up Zion instead of making a basketball move, right, to go for the ball, get a foul, etc. They just wrapped him up. After the third time, Najee's like, fuck this. I'm coming after you now. Like, you don't do that to my guy. I was lucky enough to be sitting courtside tonight looking at him. He literally goes to the ref and goes, if I came over and punched one of your other guys, what would you do? And you would go running up and, protect my guy. That's what Najee did tonight. And that stuff goes a long way in the locker room. And it also shows you how like tight they are, because another moment, Chaz, was when Jose got hurt. You saw the entire bench circle around him to be like, hey, are you okay? Like, that shows you how tight this team is.
Yeah, it was, I thought Najee we don't win this game tonight without Najee's effort. And that's really saying a lot, right? I thought Najee hit some incredible shots. That put back in the clutch, incredible. Just on defense, he was awesome. I thought defensively, he was awesome all night. I thought, that play with Zion where he defended his guy. You need that. You need those guys.
It's kind of like the bouncer.
Yeah, you need the enforcer. That to me, that's a Udonis Haslam type player. Kendrick Perkins type player. Even though
who I was who I kind of compared him to tonight was who I don't like him, but I don't like him because he's not on my team. It's Jay Crowder, right? Like, why do I not like Jay Crowder? He's a tough dude. He plays defense. He protects his guys. Like, Najee reminds me of him. He's understanding his role.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, and honestly, and toward the end of the game, I was kind of advocating for you see how they're defending Zion. Put the ball in Najee's hands. Let Najee attack downhill, because sometimes he's reckless, but he knows what he wants to do. And that he can get to the line, he's going to knock down his free throws. You know what you're going to get from Najee on a night-to-night basis, And tonight, he gave us the edge we needed to win.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Najee reminds me of a catcher in baseball. When a catcher hits for average, it's like lagniappe, right? Because the catcher usually calls the game, and he's really good with the pitchers. Najee tonight goes 6 or 7 from the field, 3 or 4 from deep. That's the lagniappe that we talk about. When he's doing that kind of stuff, I mean, he's a very valuable player. He's already a valuable player because he brings energy. He's a glue guy. He kind of, when he comes in the game, he knows his role. Well, when he's hitting shots too, I mean, that's a 2-for-1 there. And then another guy's hitting shots. Trey Murphy, 4 of 9 from deep. I think Schmidt just tweeted this, but the Pelicans are 9-3 when he starts. Him and Zion clearly have something going on, but Chaz, we talked about, they really do, and they're hard to guard. Because Zion's such a big, especially when they can dribble handoffs with Trey and Zion. Zion's such a big dude that you can't run over him. You can't go under him because then Trey's going to pull. If you do go over him, Trey's athletic and skilled enough to get into those cavities, and then Zion can roll. That's a really good tandem to have. And I remember talking about this tonight. I don't care if Trey starts, but he's got to be finishing. No matter what. When this team is fully healthy, he better be in that closing lineup. Really?
Like, people like to make me a bad guy, but they don't know it's really you. They don't know you. But honestly, Trey tonight on both sides of the ball, rebounding especially. I always love Trey's rebounding. I think He got some really good deflections tonight. I think him and Zion's chemistry is what you had hoped to see between Zion and CJ. But when you see those two guys operate, and I said it on the stream tonight with Steven, I was like, those two, it's so apparent that they have that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? They're almost the same type of player. They like to finish aggressively. You know what I'm saying? At the rim, they got that same like just kind of killer mentality in it. When they get going, like they like to put people through the rim. Like, you know what I'm saying? They want to put people through the rim. That's what they.
You were a big guy on this. I'm glad you pointed that out, Chaz, because I remember early on when Zion was kind of struggling trying to find his rhythm. You talked about how Zion was kind of like finessing and going around players instead of just, you know what, just go right through them, right into their chest. He's starting to do that. He took Isaiah Stewart tonight. Like he had one move where he just went right into his chest. I went, oh, like Isaiah Stewart's like one of like the toughest dudes. He's like one of the strongest dudes in the league, and he made him look like a child tonight. I mean, Zion is serious. And another thing I love to talk about with Zion is if you know he's being productive, you know he's going to be rebounding. In his last 5 games, 8 rebounds against OKC, 10 against Toronto, 15 against the Spurs, 6 against Denver, 10 again tonight against Detroit. You can now tell the difference of in shape Zion and out of shape Zion by simply looking at the box score and looking at the rebounds. Because when he's rebounding the ball, this team is at its best because he gets that ball and goes, and you ain't nobody in this world is stopping Zion in transition.
2 really good blocks tonight as well.
Chase downs.
Downs. 2 chase downs, and it was just like, yo, you see the effort there. Even offensively, if he was getting the calls tonight, this was a strangely officiated game. I can't say it was bad, and I can't say it was good. It was real, like it was weird.
No rhythm.
No rhythm whatsoever, right? But like, if you he even missed a couple shots that he normally finishes through contact and still had 29. I say when a guy can be great on an off night, that's how you know how dominant that this player is. And to Detroit's credit, they defended him well. They threw everything they could at him. This is not a team too unsimilar from the Raptors as far as like you got a lot of long wings, a lot of 6'8" guys, 6'9" guys. And we've seen Zion struggle against length at some points, but tonight that wasn't an issue for him.
You know, and we were talking about before the stream. Like, I don't think Detroit's like a dog shit team. Like they have like some good role players. Like they're not like the Spurs, right? The Spurs are just a bad basketball team. Like the Pistons have some decent like basketball players, and I can't believe Kevin Knox is still a thing. I didn't know he was still in the league, to be honest with you.
You know, the Pistons are kind of like us last year, minus all the talented players. So if you have like the Pistons, if you take the Pelicans last year and you take away like all the talented players, they would be the Pistons. The Pelicans last year, you took away all the talented players, it would be the Pistons.
You're something special. Presented by Company Burger, located 4600 Ferret Street, and DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting part of Boot Crew Media and the NBA. Chaz, just another guy tonight. We talked about the Najee moment, and I do think that talking about the Jose moment, in my opinion, is a big deal because it shows you how far along Jose has come, being undrafted from Georgia Tech and then being in the G League. And now tonight he goes down. It looked like it hurt. It was a rib contusion. That shit hurts. And 80%, most of the guys, including medical staff, players, coaches, were all out there. And it just shows you how loved and how important he is to this team because I think he got hurt late third. Was it fourth?
Yeah. He got hurt.
Do you remember exactly? There was like when he went out, there was a little lull, like the energy kind of like left the building, and it just shows you how important Jose is to this team.
Yeah, on both ends of the ball, whether he's knocking down big shots, Probin had a really great layup tonight as well. The defense, of course, did his Grand Theft Alvarado thing. It was a tough shot he took. I think, honestly, we were talking on the stream, and I was like, yo, I hope it's just a rib contusion because I don't want it to be in the shoulder issues. But he looked like he was in pain. On the broadcast, him walking back in the locker room, he was clearly in pain. Jose's a really tough guy. I'm sure, he'll be fine. But that was difficult to see, because if he could have bounced up, he would have, it was clearly something that was bothering him. And he is, tonight he was the best guard on the team. You know what I'm saying? So losing him and kind of having to go to some of the other guys it was difficult, and it was evident in that fourth quarter. You really missed Jose in that fourth quarter.
Yes, he's just another guy. Like you look at the box scores, like, oh, you went 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from deep, but like he just changes, he just changes the energy in the building, just from the team to the fans. So like on the court, he's just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My guy, who I am dying to see in a Pelicans uniform, Bojan Bogdanovic, was awful tonight. Actually got ejected. Didn't realize he even got ejected, but he wasn't that great tonight. But I thought the Pelicans, I didn't think they played great tonight by any means. I thought that they let a team hang around, which I thought after the end of the second quarter they wanted to run. I thought it was going to be kind of game over. The Jose injury happened. Some, CJ was in foul trouble. Couldn't get a foul, but Chaz, Zion went to the free throw line 11 times tonight, and I still think he should have been in line 20 times tonight. I know you can't call a foul every time. I know
they
you
missed
cannot.
About
Chaz,
they missed some calls, bro. They missed some calls, bro.
It's so evident. It's so obvious. Like I understand you can't call a foul every time, but look, he's getting penalized because he's stronger than others, and that's not okay. That's like the shit Shaq had to deal with, and all these big bruising guys. Like a foul's a foul. I don't care how strong you are, how big you are. Zion though is getting hit time and time again, and he's still not getting the calls.
Yeah, I think after you saw that foul when he hit the cushion on the rim, I thought you should have got picked up a tech there. It was before the break. It was, I think you were on leading by like 4 or 5. It was I think it was in like the second quarter or something. But that's where you pick up a tech if you're Willie Green. I really don't know what to do about the officiating at this point, aside from the officials coming out. I mean, team front office guys coming out saying something, but even then, that may not necessarily help. All you can really do is keep trying to. You got to pick up some offensive fouls, man. Like that's what it boils down to. You got to start throwing some elbows. You know what I'm saying? Putting your shoulder
being kind
in
of
the
an asshole.
Yeah. You got like Shaq. Look at Shaq versus Dikembe Mutombo. You gotta look at that footage and do that.
Who was the white dude he dunked on in New York? Like it's like,
and he pushed him down and
he pushed him down.
And that was disrespectful. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was the Warriors. I don't know who that guy was.
It was the Knicks. It was a white dude. I'll never forget. It was like
that was real. That was uncalled for. Like you gotta just, if you're Zion, man, you gotta give them something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Whether you do it on the defensive end, like Kobe did Mike Miller, or get thrown out of a game if you're Zion. Just go for it.
It's not necessarily that. It's that Zion, like the way he bitches at refs, it's not like an embarrassing way for the ref, right? Like the way like Luka bitches at a ref, or Trae Young, or even KD, like whoever it may be, like they're in their face. Like CJ does a good job of it.
Right.
Like CJ, if he doesn't get a call, he is like MFing you like in your face. And I think that Zion kind of like talks out of the side of his mouth and doesn't really like it's sad to say, but in order to get a call in this league, you have to learn to bitch and complain, and it's hard. You got to
show up the refs. You just have to.
That's what sucks. You have to show up the refs, and like that's what Zion isn't that, and Anthony Davis wasn't that, and Drew Holiday wasn't that, and it sucks because I thought Drew, when he was here, he was another guy that never got a call, and you're just like, this dude gets fouled all the time, but. Listen,
but manipulating the referees is a skill. Though, like James Harden and those guys, it really is a skill, man. And
James Harden got a rule made after him. Like you couldn't do the James Harden move or sweep through move.
It gets down to the point where it's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like if you don't know how to manipulate them, so, that's on you.
Right, exactly. But look, we're gonna wrap it up, Chaz. We're 16-8. I haven't looked at it, but it's got to be one of the best starts in franchise history. That's including the Hornets. I know the Hornets started off like at a ridiculous rate.
Yeah, I mean, we went 10-0 1 year, something crazy.
We were like 10-0, but like 16-8. The Suns are down 20 at half. I mean, absolutely.
With these injuries, you'll definitely take it.
The last thing I wanted to mention, we haven't had a year in a long time where we've been 16-8. Like usually we're like 5-15, or like we're trying to get ourselves out of hole 4-20. 3-16. We're now 16-8, and Brandon's played about 9 games. Like, you don't have to rush a Brandon Ingram back to make a play-in game, or you don't have to rush a Zion with. I know you're laughing, Sideline Slim, but
Go ahead.
but it's just nice. It's nice to be 16-8 and not
Yeah.
be just shitting the bed and being like, blow it up. What are we doing? Like, we're literally
Right.
sitting.
You have room for error now. You've given yourself room for error.
Exactly.
And
You've
if you
given
did
room
want
for
to
error.
make any trade negotiations, you're not acting out of desperation at this point. And that's all we could ask for at this point.
All we could ask for. 16-8, and now you've set yourself up. Not only are you primed for a playoff like appearance, either top 6. You're not looking for home court, one, and now you set yourself up to make a major move at the trade deadline. A major move, and you have a lot of bullets in the chamber.
When you look at how some of the other teams are starting in the West, the Clippers especially, it's easy to topple them. They not really.
You were one of the guys, like, and I agreed with you, but you talked about the Clippers being like, hey, like, we're forgetting about the Clippers. Like,
yeah, I thought they were the clear favorite in the West.
It could be time, Chaz.
I thought it was the Clippers and the Kings. I thought those 2 teams in the West I thought the Clippers were like, it wouldn't have been a surprise, but I thought they were the clear favorites, and I thought the Kings would surprise a lot of people. But the Clippers, I don't know.
Well, the Suns are good, but they ain't that much better than the Pelicans. Like,
yeah, I mean,
like, they might be like more vets and like more playoff experience, which that does help in a playoff series. But
right,
I think
some of the Pelicans parts are better.
Yeah, and I think Bill Simmons said today, like, the West is for the taking. So
yeah,
why not us? Why not us? Like, seriously, why not us?
Yeah, why not?
You have to stay healthy, but starting 16-8 is a lot different than 8-16.
Look, you rather have shit to work out. Look, you rob a bank, you rather figure out, all right, who's gonna get what, how much money versus oh shit, we're in jail.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You rather figure out how you're going to bribe the money. Yeah, it's a first world problem. So take this victory. Yo, Jose, put some ice on it, brother. Get ready. For Friday.
You know that dude's
he's
coming
playing
back Friday. Are you serious? He ain't missing this shit. Presented by Company Burger, located 4600 Freret Street, Birdsall Law Firm up there in the top left, and DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of Boot Crew Media and the NBA, home of the $5. If you're new users, sign up and use code BOOT right there in the bottom right corner. Bet $5 on any NBA or NFL team to win their game. You get $200 in free bets. I mean, who doesn't like free money? I sure as hell do. I cannot believe they're 16-8. I don't know how to act. I was thinking about it today. If they win a championship, I'm going to be blackout for a week straight. I already told Chris, like, I already told my wife, like, I'm going to be obnoxious for a week straight. And I'm thinking about, like, I'm already playing that shit out. It's a joke.
Hey, look, they deserve it. If they win this year, because it's not about how you got there. It's about getting there.
Just get there. Just get there and I'll get blackout for a week. So,
and give yourself a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself an honest chance.
That's it. Now we got to get Brandon Ingram back on Friday. So, Chaz, Justin, we'll holler at you. See y'all on Friday against the Suns. Friday against the Suns and Sunday against the Suns. So, like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear y'all's thoughts. Later.